W-2, 1099 to 1041. And the way I did that is, you got to understand that some of us are still W-2 employees. And I don't want to leave anyone out at all. So it's all about the entity. Well, okay, so public and private. When we're dealing with entities, what is the distinguishing factor between a public entity and a private entity? Point blank and period in one sentence. A public entity is governed by legislation. A private entity is governed by a contract, which means a private entity is not governed by legislation. A public entity can come under a private contract. So the term entity, you're going to look around in law dictionaries. It's going to be, you're not going to find it. In Black's Law, Trustee Fourth, entity is defined a real being, semicolon, existence. And according to the Internal Revenue Code, entity means something differently entirely, but can include a human being if that human being doesn't understand what's going on. So it's all about the entity. What entity is generating the income? Bottom line is, here it is, ens legis, a creature of the law. Ens legis, a creature of the law, an artificial being, as contrasted with the natural person, applied to corporations considered as deriving their existence entirely from the law. That's public. And ens legis is public. That was Black's Law, 3rd edition. Ens legis. It derives its existence from the legislation of a state. State of Washington, state of California, state of Missouri, state of New York. 1041. You'd be confused because public trust as well as private trust use the same return, but fall under different laws. Where a private trust falls under the contract, the private law. A public trust that owes its existence to legislation is governed by that legislation. That's very important. The first trust was created, as on record that I could find, was set up in 1765. In the United States. The first one I could find in the United States was 1765. Kirkpatrick Henry set up the Robert Morris Family Trust to protect his property from English taxes and laws. Still operating today as the Great Northern Land and Cattle Company in Wisconsin. It was operating out of Illinois, and I guess it moved to Wisconsin. Here's the deal. From W-2 to 1099, that was last week. Be sure you check it out if you missed it. From W-2 to 1099 to 1041 or 9-8, that's private. In order to go private, you have to have a private entity. There are public entities and private entities. You live and breathe. You are not an entity. Not as far as the Internal Revenue Service is concerned. You deal in Federal Reserve notes on behalf of an entity. If you don't know what I'm saying, you're dealing in Federal Reserve notes on behalf of an ens legis or an all capital name or whatever with the social, the straw man, and the slave. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you got to study. If you understand what I'm saying, stay with me. No matter what you think, no matter what you thought, if you're purchasing and selling using Federal Reserve notes, you are doing business on behalf of an entity, or through an entity, actually, is really the better terminology. More than likely, that is a public entity. That's why I enumerate and push to start your own business. Even if it's an LLC, it's a public entity, but you have more control. And in that control, you can direct the flow of income, which is the most important thing. Because this is going private, it's synonymous with freeing yourself from what most consider the unnecessary taxation of income. Why is it unnecessary? Bottom line, in one sentence, the United States, the Internal Revenue Service, the Treasury did not give me energy that I use every day and convert into whatever I feel like. Whether it's Federal Reserve notes, whether I convert that energy and build a box, fix a car, whatever. That energy that exists within my vessel was not given to me by the United States or anything like that. So there's the argument, well, they should not be able to tax the labor thereof. Cool, fine. I'm down with you. I feel you. But is arguing going to get you anywhere? Staying on at all costs. We got to learn. We got to understand. We have to apply the appropriate principles. Apply correct information correctly. What is the correct information? I'm telling you right now. When it comes to enforcement, when it comes to protection of your private entity, that is 100% dependent upon the contract or governing instrument. But ultimately, what's this all about? What's this all about? It's all about the entity. Say it. It's all about the entity. Federal Reserve notes, you got a bank account, right? And there's money going in there for whatever you're doing, converting your energy to, to whatever. And whatever you're doing, I commend you. But it's all about the entity. What entity is receiving those Federal Reserve notes? That's where it is. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I don't get into discharge. I don't get into none of that stuff. I stick on corporate structure and private wealth management. Those are the consultant services that are offered through the foundation and SoL Trust. Foundation Trust. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice. Public trust versus private trust. Same 1041. Is it revocable or irrevocable? That's the real question. Is it a grantor trust? Simple, complex, grantor. That's what the IRS knows. Oh, it's a Massachusetts trust. IRS doesn't recognize that. It's a common law trust. IRS doesn't recognize that. It's a pure trust. IRS doesn't recognize that. It's a trust national. IRS doesn't recognize that. It's a foreign trust. IRS doesn't recognize that. Now when it comes to reporting, the use of Federal Reserve notes, because that's what it's about. So let's say you go on private. You started your business. You listened to last week's show. You listened to a lot of different shows. You started your business. You're going private. Maybe you still work your your W-2 job. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. But you got your business going, which means there's 1099 income being generated beyond the W-2 income. This is step 2. We're going private. Where is the income or the profit from that corporation that you created? Where is that going? Are you going to route that back to the individual, to the W-2, to the social? That's a bad idea. It's a bad move. So this is where we understand, no matter what, really, it's the individual, the 1040, that is causing the most problems, that has the ceilings, the deductions, and the cutoffs, and the brackets, and the 40-page instruction booklet. Yeah, it's got my name on it, but it's in all capital names. That kind of weirded me out since I was 16. What does that mean? Maybe it didn't weird you out, but it weirded me out. So you go private. You go in private. So that 1099 income, that business income, you don't want to go back to the individual. It's going to be taxed in the 1040 system. That's ridiculous. That's better for the United States. That's better for the taxing authorities. That's better for the state taxes, the use taxes, the sales taxes. It's not that good for your private estate. It's not that good for your private wealth, the management of your private wealth. One of the main precepts of going private is that we pay ourselves first. Not Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, not the landlord, not the insurance company, not the car people. Pay ourselves first. But we got to be in the position to where how we're doing this is the most advantageous. So let me break this down for you. There's allowable deduction. Allowable deductions. This is on a 1041. These allowable deductions are either going to be dictated by the legislation of the state that created the trust, like your state attorney or whatever. They're going to draw you up a state trust. You guarantee it. More than likely, it's going to be revocable. It's going to be some sort of living trust or some sort of revocable trust. It provides no protection from creditor litigation. It's called a grantor trust. Basically means that the person who created the trust is the owner of the trust. So if there's a lawsuit, any creditors, litigation, there's no protection. Bamboozled. The attorney got their money. Creditors are going to get their money. But I got bamboozled. Private trust. Allowable deductions are dictated and governed by the contract indenture itself. Period. This is contract law. This is a law of jurisprudence. This is no game. Don't play yourself thinking that you go and pull up Microsoft Word 2010 and type up a trust indenture because you got some books or PDFs that you've been reading for 3 months and you're going to have all the necessary protections of a private contract doing business with the United States beast. Play with yourself. Private trust, allowable deductions are dictated by the contract indenture itself. Private trust only comes under internal revenue law on how the income is dispersed and how it's taxed. Private contract trust, complex trust specifically, is allowed to disperse 100% of its taxable income to its beneficiaries or to a charity and receive a charitable deduction on its 1041. Contract trust never dies. It avoids probate costs. Ain't no probate. Not probating. The state is not probating the estate. Why? Because the estate never dies. Trustees may die. The whole board of trustees may die in a whatever. Plane crash, car accident, whatever. The whole entire board. The successor trustees come on. New accounts aren't made. Nothing changed titles. Nothing. You avoid probate. You avoid death tax, inheritance tax, income tax. On normal trust, living trust disperses the corpus to the beneficiaries. The individuals have to claim that on their individual income tax for that year of disbursement. Might use a little couple tricks, but not too much. I don't know about you. If I work my whole life and leave something for my children, I'm not having the state or the Fed tax it. So there's no income tax to the beneficiaries or the heirs. The Supreme Court says one of the main objectives of a trust contract is to obtain most of the advantages of a corporation, but with the freedoms from the burdens, restrictions, and regulations generally imposed upon them. A business trust may be organized to engage in any business in which individuals, corporations may lawfully engage. Statutes may authorize limited liabilities of partnerships and corporations, but those statutes do not, by implication, prohibit the creation of contract trusts to enjoy similar immunity by virtue of common law. Supreme Court. I ain't giving no citations tonight. The first trust, the Supreme Court holds that a trust relationship comes under the realm of equity, justice, based upon common law, and is not subject to legislative restrictions, as are corporations or other organizations created by legislative authority. Let me tell you something. Pull your birth certificate out. Does it have a state seal on it? Don't states legislate? Don't you think that birth certificate was created under some sort of state legislation? Have you looked it up? That's why we're getting tore off with income tax, because it's all about the entity. Only decisions by the United States Supreme Court are binding authority on the Internal Revenue Service. A case decided by the United States Supreme Court because the law of the land becomes the law of the land, becomes the law of the land, and takes precedence over decisions of lower courts. The Internal Revenue Service must follow Supreme Court decisions for the IRS examiners. The Supreme Court decisions have the same weight as the Internal Revenue Code. Private law generally refers to terms of an agreement between parties, and the parties have the freedom to override many state law requirements regarding formalities of contracts. So we choose the correct jurisdiction. A business trust is a common law entity formed by contract and thus is not subject to the same type of state regulation as a corporation or any state entity. Ens legis. Now, trusts are taxed at 39.6%. There's a lot of legislation in Internal Revenue Code with regarding these types of trusts, these private trusts. So there's a system to be adhered to known as the system of interrelating trusts. Basically, what I do as a private consultant, I set people up, the families up with their private estate, go into their corporate documents for their LLC or corporation or whatever, amend the corporate documents to show the business trust as the owner. Corporation passes corporate profits to the business trust in the form of a check. The business trust then deposits into its business trust account. And using the system of interrelating trusts, we are able to avoid taxes otherwise required by corporations and other legislative trusts legally. There's another reason why I said been on the air for over 2 years. I'm still on the air because I ain't going to jail, no type of indictments. U.S. Marshals ain't ever showed up at my house. IRS doesn't mess with me. They audited me one time a little over 2 years ago, and they left me alone since then. And I constituted something that, I had done something for so long, and then I switched it up. They just wanted to make sure. I haven't fallen off the earth. I haven't disappeared. People can still get a hold of me. My number is still the same. And I teach what I do and what I know. I educate with regarding to what I do and what I know. I've been mentored with this. The individual who prepares the account, transcripts, and the tax returns for the entities that I administer is an enrolled agent with the Internal Revenue Service on contract on behalf of the entities I administer. I do not receive any individual income. Why? Because the individual is chains around my neck and my hands and my feet. It slows me down. I got tired of seeing the pay stub with all them hundreds of dollars taken out before I even touched it. And my daughter's hungry. And that stuff is never funny. Because she's looking at me saying, Daddy, why my stomach grumbling? So much trouble when the money get to fumbling. Steady working hard, but I can't keep from stumbling. Got tired of it. Had to make a move. You can be mad. Stand around all sad and down. Made a move. You can make a move too. You can email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. I've done a lot of research, years of reading, years of study, years of mentorship, years of administration to get where I'm at and put it all together in the curriculum. It's exactly what I wish was available for me when I started waking up and wanted to start taking care of my business and being a noble, taking care of my family, taking care of myself and honoring my ancestors and the Creator and taking care of my energy and being a steward of wealth. But it didn't exist. But it exists now. Admin, welcome to the foundation. We can get down, but this is what it's all about as far as I'm concerned. Once again, using publication 535 as well as publication 15B, we max out fringe benefits at the corporate level. The trust, being the managing member, the majority shareholder, takes advantage of its shareholder disbursements from the corporation. Meanwhile, the company's paying for company cell phones, quote, company's paying for company travel, company meals, de minimis benefits, health savings accounts, so on and so forth. All of this is excluded from the individual taxable income. See what I'm saying? Business credit is established on the LLC. It's established using toilet paper and paying for the cell phone bill that your family already paid for and you've been paying for since cell phones really pretty much came out and became affordable. But now, since it's in the name of the business, it's reporting positive credits to the business. Before you know it, in a couple of years after buying toilet paper and paying your cell phone bill, you're going to be able to qualify that business for all types of loans and credit that may or may not be available to you as an individual. In the meantime, all profits, taxable income, is being passed to the shareholder in the form of shareholder disbursements, in the form of a check that is simply deposited in the business trust account. The business trust takes its allowable deductions according to its private contract indenture, not according to any state legislature, not according to the IRS, not according to PETA, not according to the Department of Homeland Security, according to the trust private indenture. And then, after its contractually indenture allowable expenditures that it deducts from its taxable income, it can and will, of course, disperse 100% of its taxable income to its beneficiaries. Those beneficiaries, obviously, are not individuals. Without inflating bills or charges or expenses, telling the complete and exact truth on these forms of reporting. It's called legal avoidance of taxation, income taxation. Of course, why? You're going to make purchases with the trust on behalf of the trust, contract, indenture that is executed in your fiduciary capacity, of course. But income tax is avoided. It's not saying sales tax unless you have a tax-exempt entity, which is the private family foundation, which is in and of itself a whole nother step when it comes to going private. Stepping on toes because I want to make it really simple. If you understand what I'm saying, rewind the show and listen to it again. All the extra is just that, extra. It's all about the entity. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care what God you believe in. I don't care what your nationality is. I don't care if you're a debtor or a creditor. I don't care if you got felonies, old child support, paying child support, opening a museum. It doesn't matter. It's all about the entity. Is it an individual? And I speak from the IRS. Y'all call it straw man. I call it the individual. Y'all call it the cesspool trust. I call it the individual. Why? Because that's what the IRS calls it. Why do you acknowledge what the IRS says? Because they putting people in jail over this stuff. They put Sherry Peel Jackson in jail on a misdemeanor in federal prison for 5 years. That's why I say individual, because all the other terminology doesn't matter. It's either an individual, corporation, trust, nonprofit, estate. Now, just to be clear, when we're talking about the 9A number, all that is the EIN for a foreign trust. And you got to have an indenture. You can't do nothing with that 9A number unless you got a trust. And you can evidence the trust and it's recognized to do business in the Hague countries, over 120 countries, the Hague countries. And there's a certain specific format to, what you got to give them in order to open that account. But please believe, as a trustee, you're on a non-disclosure. So the entire indenture, if you're giving it to the banker, you're tripping. You're playing yourself. The business of the trust, the beneficiaries, the trust, all that stuff is private. If you put in specific language of the trust that doesn't belong in there, you're committing an error in fiduciary administration. There's only certain stuff that the bank needs, but they do need an EIN. And if you want an EIN without using that social, that's what that 980 is. Bottom line. Man, look, I'm the type of dude, I respect and acknowledge all the prophets. There's 9 major prophets, including Zoroaster, Jesus, Muhammad, Abraham, Moses. So there's principles and then, of law or truth. And specifically, let's talk about Jesus. Jesus wasn't a Christian. He was a Jew. Christianity didn't exist until after he passed, right? But there was a construct, religious construct that was created after he passed. And that's what I see, all these constructs based on real principles that are distorting the vision of the people that's really trying to see what the truth is. Oh, the Moors got it. Oh, the Jews got it. Oh, the Masons got it. Oh, Congress got it. Only Rockefeller got it. Nah, that's not the truth. They got to join no mystic, weird order. You ain't got to sell your soul. You ain't got to do something that goes against your character or your morals. Get involved in something that you don't understand. All you got to do is understand that it's all about the entity. what entity is receiving the income in the form of Federal Reserve notes? Is it a statutory entity, public, or is it a contract entity, private? Is it a state-created entity, or is it a federal entity? But I got credit on the social, and what do you think business credit is for? Don't you know it was business credit before it was personal credit? The only people that got personal credit were like lords and tycoons, like really high worth individuals. The credit system came from like the reference system, like trying to get houses and jobs. And more from that as far as the individual credit system. You don't need that social to use credit. That's what the company's for. You can bankrupt the company and it doesn't affect your private assets. Trump style. And you ain't even a Republican. How about that? Get with me. So L, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. It's the real deal. Not playing with you. Or, there's cats out here that, I'm not the only one that understands this. But, I feel like I'm one of the few who doesn't add that reality TV aspect to it. Just information, and I'm stepping on toes. And that's my mission. Y'all my brothers. Y'all my sisters. Y'all my family. Y'all roll with me. Y'all ride with me. Y'all email me. Y'all call in. Y'all tell me to keep my head up. These cats out here creating dependencies, charging for paperwork. What's up with creating the individual that can make the paperwork? So I don't charge you anymore. I don't want to charge you. Let's build. It's all about the entity, y'all. The corporate tax rate was dropped to 21%. And that's ill. Time to get it right, buddy. Public trust, private trust is really what it's about. Going private, step 2. 1099 W-2, 104198. Really what that means to me. We're going to, facilitate the establishment and growth of private wealth through public entities and public fiat currency debt notes, whatever you want to call it. And that's what it is. You understand the fundamentals of economics, we start making decisions that make us economically relevant. And it's potentially, possibly what the big deal is. Because how can there be super wealthy if everyone or the majority of people are engaged in an activity that is making their family and themselves economically relevant? It's going private, step 2. Step 3 next week. And we're going to keep it moving. I'm going to open up the phone lines. We got a couple minutes left. I do want to say, I'm just going to be honest. I messed up. And because I messed up, I wasn't able to do the show this evening on time. I had to back off for a half hour. That's my fault. Do my best that it won't happen again. 424-222-5250 or 563-999-3625. We got about, 11 minutes left in the stream. After that time, if you are listening on the internet in any way, shape, or form and not called into the switchboard, you will be disconnected. And you have to listen to the archive to hear the rest of the show. So, if you want to avoid that calling, if not, it's all good, do your dance. that being said, let's go ahead and jump out here onto the phone lines. This thing is being slow. I'm talking slow because this interface is being slow. So I'm just trying to let you know what we got here. Come on, work. I trust that, the show was informative. And it brought, definitely brought something, was able to put something, in your ear. Maybe spark a thought that was different than what you were thinking, put you on a path, so on and so forth. That's really all I'm here for. Like one of them guardrails with the reflector paint so you don't fly off the cliff. That's me. SOL. Straight up. All right, so this looks like it's working. So first caller we got is area code 718. 718-8092. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's the deal, Soil? This Dow from Brownsville. How you doing?
Peace, How you doing?
New York. I'm all right. Yeah, you mentioned the 1049A, if I heard you right.
1041.
Oh, 10. Okay, all right. So how's everything, Soil?
Everything is perfect. How you doing, man? You had a good week?
I'm okay. Say that again?
How was your week?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Next week I turn another year,
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah.
And
that's what's up.
Yeah, I appreciate
next week, huh?
I appreciate it. Say that again?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Happy New Year. That's what I like to say. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that day is your individual New Year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I mean, I'm talking about in regards to your birthday.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, okay. I can read between the lines and a lot of things of that nature.
I got you.
And
cool.
And I want to say happy New Year to you too, because you like what? Officially, I think it was like last week. You've been a year, right? The foundation, right?
Yep, it's been a year for the foundation on high frequency. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was talking to my sister. I said, "Yo, you notice I don't say much like that, and I'm not gonna say much tonight. I'm gonna let the other callers get a word in, and I look forward to hearing from you next week. Or if you ever just wanna call, my number, or send me an email. So I'm gonna let you take the next caller, and you stay well, my brother. All right?
I will. Appreciate you, man. I'll hit you up.
Okay, all right. I appreciate you too.
Thanks for calling in, man. Talk to you soon.
You're welcome. And same to you. Okay.
All right. Peace. Got the homie Mellow Bay. Peace. What's up, family? How you doing, man?
Man, you know it. You know what it is, man. We thankful, you know what I'm saying? Give thanks, furthermore, divine order, creator, ancestors, forefathers, foremothers, civilization, path seekers, truth finders, demonstrators, scholars, activists, all the do above, therefore, on down to the young nobles, that came here and carry out these divine works and uplift and fallen humanity. At the same time applying our principles, and doing business. So I'm fine, I'm well, we're here, I'm speaking to you, you speaking to me, we engaging, it's definitely been a nice evening, brother. Divine timing though, even though you was, a bit, had some things, some mishap take place, but, sometimes within time it don't exist, so you're right on time, bro, you're right on time. Just the right amount of jewels to drop, just enough to convey, and bring forth that clarity, because it's a lot of doctrines out here, it's a lot of forms, man, that we need validity on before we start to test those forms. And I picked out something interesting. I was just checking out the etymology You know what I'm saying? And just knowing the meaning behind certain things, forms. You know, to form is to create something. You gotta create a form of something. And before you're able to form it, you know, you gotta be able to tax it, to touch it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't tax something you can't touch. You know what I'm saying? In a way, so it's kind of crazy, man. So we need to really get more abreast to you know, the terms and whatnot, and you know what I'm saying, and actually know how to maneuver. So it's all good, bro. And I'm just chiming in. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the max transit. We out here in real time. So it's all good, bro. And definitely I'm gonna get back with you on that too. You know what I'm saying? On the last arrangement. So, you know what I'm saying, definitely things are in place. We in place. You know, it's chess, not checkers.
Chess, not checkers. I like that. You can't
yes, sir.
You can't tax.
Roll the moves.
I like this one. You can't tax nothing you can't touch.
Right.
Nice.
If that's quite clear, you know what I'm saying, on that. On how I'm trying to describe that, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah, creating that form, you know, you gotta create a form, you know, and that's something, man, you know, you gotta put something into existence, you know what I'm saying, to be able to form it, and then once you form it, it has to take place in a form, it has to have a form to go with it, a form has to have a form to be taxed. You know what I'm saying? So, and, you know what I'm saying, or to be not, so to speak. So, yeah, man, this is definitely what it is, man. I give thanks, though, bro. It's like this with me, and I amend this to what you said, bro, and add on. People need to execute weekly. Like, when we speak to you, so, bi-weekly, we need to put forth like an execution list in real time. Like every week, do something. I know we mess up, we have mishaps and different things and whatnot, but it's all about corrections, it's all about solutions, and it's all about remedies. Put that, you know what I'm saying, in your everyday works. Apply true law, your walking, talking law. The people make the law, actually. We look at legislators and we look at different, you know what I'm saying, you know, departments, but actually we make the law. So that's what it is, though. You know what I'm saying. I give thanks, though. You know what I'm saying. I take definitely honors and credit and honors to definitely the time that's invested that you put into the people, and definitely in return and fair exchange, well, we will do. You know what I'm saying, proper business. You know what I'm saying, definitely. So that's just what it is, man. It's another one. It's monumental. It's another one. So. I passed the number out to some people at work, you know what I'm saying, possibly they on the construct, you know what I'm saying, tuning in. We vibing right now, you know what I'm saying, so we're at the foundation, man, you know what I'm saying, drop a jewel, time to get ready, get corrected, get yourself in a better position, tax-free position. You know what I'm saying, could get ate alive by these parasitical energetic taxes. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm just trying to do my dance, man. I'm honored.
Yes, sir.
All praises due to the creative ancestors. You know, definitely. This is not. I can't say it enough. But I appreciate you, and I appreciate you. You know, staying down for the platform. You always got something to add to the platform. You know, and you know, I know we're gonna work in together. I'm looking forward to it. So, you know, I'll talk to you soon. Have a good week. Enjoy your week. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself and those people around you that care about you. And, man, I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yes, sir. Indeed. Peace to the God.
All right, family. Peace to the God. Shout out to the family, brother Mellow Bay. And on that note, it's Biggity Brian from the Bay. What's up, man? Brian from the Bay.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
What's up with my man?
How you doing? Peace.
What's up, man? Not much, man.
Not much.
Did you get the email?
I got the email.
Okay. All right, so
we'll get into that. We'll get into that this week.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, but all you're pretty much saying, if I could just sum up what I got from it, is that they made an entity for us, and people don't understand that the government made an entity for you, and so they can control you by them making an entity. That way they can tax you and do all that stuff. So you're basically trying to show people, I'm just trying to, dumb it down for myself and other people maybe like me, that you're trying to show people with the right paperwork and the right knowledge that you can make your own entity so you can be able to take some of the benefits that the people who know how to do this are already implementing right now. And that's pretty much what you're saying by using the business or making a business a LLC, so you can use that to build up credit, and then also through the business trust you can transfer that to over there and administer any way you need to administer. So I mean that's how I got it,
Yep, basically I like that. And that's what I say, they created an entity for you to administer in the public because you didn't have one, and they created the rules by which, you will be taxed, or how that's going to work while you're using that entity. That's a perfect way to say it. Definitely.
Yeah. And the only thing else I'll say is like how we they created, best way I can think about, they created basketball, they created football. We learned the game, and we learned how to master it and become good at it. So just learn the game, become the master of it, and, we could be a little Michael Jordan, a little LeBron James of learning how to work these entities. So that's it.
True indeed. Definitely. That's what it's about, man. I like that. On point. 100% on point. So, what's your next move? Where you at with it? What you got to say to the people?
Hey, I thought that was it right there.
You can't just paraphrase and... Man, how you going? First of all, you're making me look bad. I did a whole show for over an hour and a half. You want to come in and break down my show in 2 sentences?
Oh, come on, man.
No, I'm just playing. But no, I like that.
I'm learning from
but go ahead. Go.
Listen, I'm learning from you. I'm learning how this game's going. And all I'm saying, I'll put it this way. I'm gonna take it back to where our people used to hear in basketball or something, right? You acting like Phil Jackson right now, showing people, look, this is how we get stuff going. And you showing them how to work this triangle in the offense. And that's all you're doing. You're trying to make everybody become the next Shaquille O'Neal or whatever by learning how to implement these entities. Pretty much, that's what I got from it. So you just taking us through the process of, slowly putting these plays out, and then we got to go and do our thing, practice on our own, study on our own. Then when we come to game time, we're ready to do it like prime time.
I like that. I want to see all my brothers and sisters running around just dunking on fools all the time, every day, just dunking, just bamming on everybody, just bamming, just pointing at me, and I point back at you, and we just keep moving. You just keep running and bamming on everybody, economically, so to speak. Just bringing the rim down. That would be amazing. 100% amazing. What was you going to say?
No, that's it, man. I'm going to leave it at that. I want somebody else to talk. I don't want to keep on talking, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you calling in, man. Thanks for adding to the platform, this week and all the other weeks. Talk to you soon. I'll definitely be hitting you up the next couple of days so we can get on that, because you're pretty much wrapping it up anyway. So get excited, man. Congratulations. And yeah, man, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for calling in.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace, you guys. Last but not least, my big sister from the East, Sister Yvette. Peace, sister. How you doing?
What's the deal? SOT out? Yvette, down from Brownville, sister. Peace to the community, to the kings and queens. I read that book, How to Stick It to the IRS, Confessions from a Former Insider. Sherry Peel.
Oh. Sis usually went R2D2 on us. Man, that was electronic. What happened? Sister, you there? That sounds like Star Wars handheld game or something. The sister fell off, and we streaming, so the sister can't call back in. Blog Talk hated on Sister Yvette. I appreciate you, Sister Yvette. Yeah, she wrote a book, How to Stick It to the IRS. She wrote another book. I can't remember the name of it. It was a really good book, but she was really light-handed in that book because she had learned her lessons. Man, they put her in prison. I don't care what you're talking about. The sister's like 5'2". She's a very, very small sister. She ain't big. And suddenly she went from working in the IRS, being a college-educated sister, to being in federal prison. I don't blame her for not telling all the secrets no more. But yeah, it's a really good book. Y'all check it out. How to Stick It to the IRS, Sherry Peel Jackson. And that's about it. I'm kind of upset a little bit that Yvette fell off. I always look forward to, her words. Ultimately, I was able to say peace to her, so I can feel good about that. And I can also feel good about this show. The foundation going private, step 2, W2, 1099 and 1041/98. Hopefully y'all understand where I'm coming from and y'all get it. I do appreciate your consistency, rocking with me every single week. Even the times where, I didn't do the show or, Blog Talk was acting weird and y'all sent me all those emails and everybody was calling me, making sure I wasn't hurt or they didn't take me out or something like that. It was cool. I was good. But, it's all love, and I appreciate it, and I accept it as love. There's people who call into this show every single week and never say anything. But they just, they hold me down. You're listening. You're checking it out. You're showing the support. Hopefully you're learning something. But ultimately, you're here every single week. And I appreciate you. I also appreciate the people who call in every single week and shout me out. Press 1. As soon as the show starts, I got people pushing 1 in the call queue. And I just want to, say I appreciate y'all. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to continue to keep pushing, putting out information. Might get redundant. I know I say some of the stuff the same thing over and over. But sometimes that's what it takes, and I understand that. And I'm very patient. I'm a very patient man. So I can wait until we all can get it popping and get it together. And I'm cool with that. So I'm going to keep doing this. And I'm going to keep doing, the foundation. And I appreciate y'all checking it out. I appreciate everyone who has thus far checked out the show. Ultimately, my motive, my cause is charitable. I see the struggle that people go through regardless of their hue, regardless of their melanin content. To me, I think that is ultimately ridiculous. Ultimately. Now, I'm not going to say that there aren't arguments or strict points that can be made for the overall irritation over, a particular race by another race, but I don't really get into that too much. Overall, the average person, regardless of what his skin color is, standing next to me, by me, down the street from me, or never seen me before, really wants the same things in life. We want to be able to take care of the people we love. We want to be able to enjoy ourselves. We want to be able to work hard and play hard. But at the same time, we want to be able to get our just due. And there's a problem that all of us deal with that starts off in the pit of our stomachs and in the back of our minds like a splinter when we're not getting our just due. And it builds and builds and builds over time. Sometimes we can't articulate or speak with regards to why I feel this way, or how am I not getting my just due? How am I getting played? I don't know how, but I know I'm getting played. And throughout my, travels, throughout my experiences, my business and interpersonal, private relations, I'm coming to understand that a lot of people's issue that they can't put their finger on is they're not getting their just due with the energy they're converting into Federal Reserve notes or checks or direct deposits that they use to get their everyday goods and services to support themselves and their family. And when it's hard to support your family and it's hard not to show love to the people that you want to by giving them gifts or showing them a good time or whatever it is you do, it takes a toll on people mentally. And I see that all over. I see that all over the world. I've seen it all over the world. Just this underlying rigidity in people. And I'm convinced it has to do with, the gouging of taxation on their income. Regardless if people understand it, I feel that we intrinsically know, subconsciously, that the United States and the IRS did not create us or create our energy, and therefore, how do they get off taxing our gains that we get from the energy that we got from our Creator, our ancestors, our mother, our father, God Almighty, Yahweh, or whatever you subscribe to. And I feel like that's what most people can't put their finger on, especially Americans, Moroccans, nationals, whatever, what have you. When it comes down to it, my charitable cause is to relay and reestablish the foundation as we know it with regards to doing business with the commercial system through the entities we use and do not use, and understanding that we have been using an entity since we first started. And it was, an allegiance in all capital names attached with a social security number. In the same way, corporations are all capital names and they're attached to an EIN. Same amount of numbers, same 9 numbers, just one has 2 dashes, one has 1. And that's it. I'm not getting into theory. This is real. Supreme Court citations, common law, constitutional law, private law, contract law, all types of stuff. I'm saying stuff to the IRS, and they've backed up. This stuff is real. And the worst thing that's going to happen is, you're going to be taxed the way you were taxed last year. No jail time, no charges. They're just going to say, oh, well, no, that looks like a disregarded entity. That's your alter ego. We're going to tax that to the individual and not allow you to use, trust disbursements because, the substance is actually alter ego, but the form is a trust, and, we're disregarding it due to the administration that the trustee partakes in. But, ain't no going to jail. Ain't no getting indicted, you know what I mean? Reading your charges on the air, open forum Friday or something, I don't do that dance, y'all. I'm cool. I'm cool on that. I'm a non-adversarial type individual, straight up. I'm not a punk, please believe. I'm sure most of y'all can tell. But I'm not adversarial. I'm not aggressive. I don't care, really. Just leave me alone, leave mine alone, and we good. And y'all are mine. I consider y'all mine. And I'm telling y'all, going private is no joke. But it's as simple as using a different entity to do what you've already been doing, or different entities to do what you're already doing, just a little bit different. Pretty much the same thing. And I can assist you. My name is So L, Seeker of Truth L. You can email me at admin@welcometothefoundation.com. I want to thank you for checking out the show, as you have been. I want to thank everyone who's still on the switchboard right now. I appreciate you. And it's an honor. I want to ask you humbly that you do yourself the justice to know that you're worth it. You definitely are worth it. To do something different, to live a better life, to have less drama in your life. If not for the reason simple that you've had so much drama in your life up until now, you've paid enough drama dues. Now it's time to start enjoying yourself. It's time to start loving yourself. Maybe more than you already do. It's time to start making those attempts at those dreams that maybe you let go of for whatever reason why. I don't want you to think about the reason why. I want you to think about the dream itself. Do me a favor and show yourself some more love, appreciation, respect, and consideration that you may show these same characteristics to the people around you. If you don't have it in your hands, you can't throw it in your air. And do it because, if not for anything else, you're the reason why I do this show every single week. You're the reason why I do the research. You're the reason why I stress about the topics. You're the reason why I work so hard to bring this information. Because I believe in you, and I know you do deserve better. And that's my cause. And hopefully my cause can spark a cause in you to be able to transition to a better lifestyle, a better quality of life, and an easier and more complimentary existence on this earth. With that being said, I want to thank you for checking out the show. Be sure to go to welcometothefoundation.com. Check out the PDFs. There's a lot of PDFs on there. There's a lot of stuff that I give away for free. There's a lot of stuff that I give away for very, very little. And, you know, I'm a value-adding type person. So, you know, definitely check out welcometothefoundation.com. There's PDFs on there. Sign up to the email. You can find the Facebook page. You can find the Twitter page. You can find the Instagram page on welcometothefoundation.com. Make sure to add yourself to those social media accounts. I know that the more ads that I see, that we see, the more it makes us want to do more content. But that, you know, doesn't mean you have to do anything. But I would definitely appreciate it. And it could help, you know, because we definitely put stuff out. With that being said, have a great evening. Have a great rest of your week. Take care of yourself, like I said. Enjoy yourself. And think with the mind state and the understanding that you deserve better. And it's consistency and dedication that's going to get us there. As always, this is High Frequency Radio Network. Once again, I'm your host, So L. I want to say thank you. I want to say I love you. Definitely enjoy yourself. Peace to God, yo.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.